an internal medicine doctor, somebody who meets with patients every day, recently wrote an article about the top 5 regrets that people have on their deathbed. Now, I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to have on my deathbed are regrets. If you were dying right now, what regrets would you have? I put those first two together because I think they go hand in hand. You regret not spending enough time with the people you care about, missed out on life, and you work too much. To me, I've always thought that there are two kinds of people in life. Either you live to work or you work to live. Now, throughout my entire life, I've always thought of myself as someone who works to live. I would work and make money so I could do the things I wanted to do. But when I lived back in Maryland, I had a friend. He was a doctor, a surgeon, one of the top in the state. Johns Hopkins trained. He was the man. He must have worked 70 plus hours a week. And when he wasn't at work, he was on call. We went out a few times and all he could ever talk about was work. He had no other interests. There was nothing else he really wanted to do in his life. And I kind of felt sorry for him. Isn't there something else other than your job? But for some people, that's what defines you as a person. Your job defines you. It really hit home when his wife left him. His wife left him because he never spent any time with her. He never took her out. He barely paid attention to her. How could he? He was never home. He had 2 kids, 2 daughters, who never wanted to talk to him again because he neglected them almost their entire childhood and teenage years. He was never around. He lost his family because he worked too much. If you have close people in your life, friends, family, whoever, how hard is it to call them every now and then and say, hey, it's Nico. I was just calling to check in with you, see how you're doing. It's been a while. How's your brother doing? How's your wife? Did you get that promotion at work you were trying to get? Let's get together and have lunch. Do you want to hang out this weekend? Even a text message. Think about how good you would make them feel if you just talk to them. Don't regret not spending time with people you care about or working too much. Just talk to the people you care for. How hard is that? Letting fear control your decisions, being afraid of taking risks. I mean, these are things that I could see somebody regretting. Always being careful, never going out on a limb too much. When I left the East Coast and I moved out west, a friend of mine was going to come with me. He was a client of mine and we became good friends. He was going to come out and we were going to start a business together. I was an appraiser. He was a mortgage banker. We talked about maybe starting a property management company or a real estate company in Southern California. He was all excited, but the whole thing fell through. Maybe 2 weeks before I was about to pack up and head out, he said, Nico, I can't do it. I can't come out there. I can't take the risk. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? It's going to be great. Southern California, warm weather, sunny, lots of places to go, stuff to do, much more exciting than where we currently live. What the hell's the matter with you? He was afraid of taking the risk. He was just afraid of stepping out of that comfort zone. He lived his entire life in the state of Maryland. His parents lived in Maryland. He was afraid of taking the risk. Now, I get that. I understand that. It can be difficult to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. But do you really want to live your whole life in a box? Sometimes the most exciting things that could ever happen to you are unplanned. They're spontaneous. Sometimes you just need to say yes. Take the risk. and go for it, because you don't want to get older and regret not doing it. This last one got to me. Focusing too much on the future and losing touch with the present, the joy, the excitement, the thrill of the present. That's something that I do. And this is something I could see myself regret. I kind of regret it now, and I'm not on my deathbed. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always thought about the future, tried to prepare for it, because I always want to have a better future than the current present that I'm living in. And this can be a dangerous thing, because you don't want your mind always on something way out here that you lose touch with right here, what's right in front of you. Thinking about how's this going to play out. Just enjoy the now. And it brings up the thought of our own mortality. All of these five things, these regrets that you have at the end of your life. You know, one way to not have any regrets is to not do those things now while you're here. Spend more time with the people you care about. Don't work so much. Take a risk. Don't focus so much on the future. Enjoy the present. So just imagine being on your deathbed without having any regrets. Imagine calmly lying there, thinking to yourself, I have lived such a fulfilling life. I'm so proud and happy for all the friendships I've had, people whose lives I've affected and whose lives have affected me. Think about having the courage to say to yourself, I'm proud of what I did here. I'm happy with the life I've lived. And being able to close your eyes and say, I'm ready for whatever's next.